So this is another Invisalign update. So my last video I covered the wisdom tooth removal, extraction, and that I had what my experience was of having the molds taken. So it's been a couple of months since then, and yesterday I went and finally had my Invisalign fitted. So I thought I'd do a video on what that experience was like. And also go over some bits that I found helpful from other videos and what things I am using, what things I haven't started using yet. So, the wisdom tooth extraction healed up well. It took a few weeks. The estimated time from having my molds taken to my treatment plan coming back was around 10 to 14 days. I looked at the plan probably about 3 weeks later. My dentist wasn't happy with the original proposed plan from Invisalign, so he did a few tweaks before he then presented it to me. So he called me in. This was about 3 weeks after my molds had been taken. Showed me what the plan was. We decided that we did a few more improvements. So waited another week, had a look again. So that's 4 weeks in total. I went in and I approved the plan. So it was about a month from when I had my molds taken to when I approved my Invisalign plan. And then it was about a further month from having approved the plan to having them fitted, which is what I went and done yesterday. I started this process in, I think it was July. So, you know, we are now November. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but bearing in mind I did have to have the wisdom tooth extraction, and with COVID and things like that, everything's just taken a bit longer. So I'll tell you about my experience going and having the Invisalign put in now, and then I'll go on to the kind of things that I've bought, what I've purchased, and what I've used and not used so far. So I went in yesterday to have my Invisalign fitted. The process took about an hour. What I had first was a full scale and polish, make sure the teeth are nice and clean, ready. He then moved on to put the attachments on. Now for my case, I have attachments on pretty much every tooth, apart from the bottom two, and I'll show you that later on. So it's the bottom two at the front that I haven't got attachments on. Otherwise, all the other ones have attachments on them. He also performed the IPR, which, if you don't know what that is basically where they shave in between the teeth to make space. The attachments process, that was fine, no pain at all. It's just more the uncomfortableness of having your mouth open for that length of time. The IPR for me was a bit sensitive. I've got really sensitive teeth anyway, and they pour water onto it as they're kind of shaving. So I did experience some pain with that. Not unbearable, just not very pleasant. So I've had that done with 5 teeth. But here particularly is, I'd say, a significant gap. So it would be nice to see that close. I'm going to be having IPR on tray 5 and also on tray 9. So I'm actually having 3 lots of IPR in different areas. Yesterday I had it on 5 different teeth. So I'm just looking down because I've got notes, so I want to make sure I cover everything. Right, so at my appointment he gave me 4 trays, the ones I've got in now, and then up to 4. I was advised to wear the first 3 for 2 weeks. Just till it settles in, get used to having all this in my mouth, and then to move on to changing them weekly. At what point I will be seeing my dentist before I put the tray 4 in, which is the tray that moving forward hopefully will be 1 week changes. Yeah, so the appointment was about an hour long. It was fine. You know, apart from the uncomfortableness of the IPR, he asked me to put the trays in initially myself, because I'm going to be putting them in and out anyway. He did, however, not ask me to take them out, which I thought unusual, because in other videos I have seen them ask you to remove them to make sure that you can remove them. However, my dentist just didn't ask me to do that. That's something I experienced for the first time at home. So I had these fitted at around 4 o'clock yesterday evening. By the time I got home, I sat down for dinner around 7 o'clock. I took the trays out for the first time, and I will say I don't think I could not get them out with nails alone. Luckily, from watching past videos and past YouTube videos, a lot of people had advertised an ortho key and said that that was a godsend when taking them out, and thank God I did pre-plan and have it on me, because I think they would still have been in my mouth and I wouldn't have been able to eat. With having attachments on pretty much all the teeth, it was extremely tight, and this was amazing at getting them out. Also for breakfast this morning, I was a little apprehensive, as these have been in since yesterday, since about 8 o'clock, putting them back in. They've been in all night and I wasn't sure how easy it would be to get them out again. I didn't even try using my fingers, I used it straight away. They were out within less than a minute, so I do also recommend the ortho key. Interestingly, the Invisalign pamphlet does tell you not to use any kind of apparatus like this to remove them, but I'd love to know how they can get people to get them out of their mouths without them, because I haven't got the longest of nails, but long enough, and I could not get them out. So I do recommend the ortho key. Just be careful, work round from the back, take your time to move forward so that you don't end up snapping any of your trays. So moving forward, yeah, like I said, so my next appointment now to check in will be in the new year, and it's going to be on the 8th of January. So he will then review, and then I'll move on to hopefully move on, but you know, if everything tracks all right, to the weekly changes, which would be nice, because I must say this has been in for a night and I can already see slight clouding. I have brought some things in readiness for that, some cleaning things, etc. I'll go through in a minute. So, but given that I only had them in yesterday, my cleaning so far has just been as recommended by the Invisalign, with a soft toothbrush and lukewarm water, and just brushing in the aligners, following my oral hygiene routine. So I'll go into the kind of things that I had. I've got to say, I was a bit disappointed, because I've seen some people have had loads of stuff from their dentist. I think I had the bare minimum. I'm on the comprehensive plan, which is the unlimited aligner, so I did hope for a bit more, but of course you get the official Invisalign bag. And in the bag, you get the box. I'm sure you've seen this in all the other videos I know that I have. So I won't go into great detail, but in the box, of course, you have your aligner case, and you have the cleaning crystals. Now, I don't think I'm going to use those, although recommended by Invisalign that you only use those and no other cleaning product. I have heard that they leave an aftertaste, a chemically aftertaste on the aligners, and also they only provide you with a small amount. So I guess I'd rather stick with the same product right the way through the treatment plan, so I don't think I'll be using those, although, as mentioned, my dentist said he only advised using these. But given the research I've done and thousands of people that I've read using another brand, which I'll show you in a minute, I think I'll just go on their advice and use those. So you get an information pamphlet, and you get one underneath. I have actually read these. They look huge, they're not. In English, there's only about 5 pages in each, and they literally say the same thing as each other, so I wouldn't waste your time reading both. They literally just tell you how to take them in, take them out, what products not to use, what products to use, and that's pretty much about it. So I gotta say I was underwhelmed by the information actually supplied in there. I think it was very minimum. I'm a researcher, and I've done hours and hours researching into people's experience, so I feel well equipped to take this journey on. But if you were someone that just wanted to go for Invisalign and perhaps not done so much research, I think you would feel quite lost with certain things, and thank God for the Invisalign support group that I'm on, that people can ask questions and find things out, because I genuinely feel that information in there is extremely minimal. The bag's nice, it's a little waterproof bag. I've got my own bag with things in, which I'll show you in a minute. But the only other thing that I had in my bag were, of course, the trays. So as mentioned, I've got 4 trays. 4 sets of trays that I've got until my next appointment. So number 1 is already in, and then you've got 2, 3 and 4. You know, not great differences between them. I mean, I can't see any, but then to be expected with only 4 trays. My treatment plan is at the minute 25 for the top and 19 for the bottom. So, you know, quite a fair bit to go. So hopefully in the later trays, obviously you'll see much of a difference. I think when you start this process, you hope to see changes fairly quickly. And hopefully it will, but having looked at these, I'm not optimistic that there will be major differences by the 4th tray, but you know, you never know. It's how your teeth feel in your mouth and how flossing hopefully will be easier, because with my overcrowding, flossing is extremely difficult. I must say, with the gaps that they've put in, it has already obviously made flossing a lot easier. However, it's also made it a lot easier for food to get into your teeth now. So I'll just go over actually what it feels like to have these attachments on, because of course you take the aligners out to eat and drink anything that is of colour. You only are supposed to keep them in to drink water. Anything else, teas, coffees, anything with colour or for eating, they are supposed to come out. And I will say with the attachments, I think my dentist has done a good job of polishing them off so they don't feel that harsh in my mouth, and I can't say I felt any pains or ulcers on my tongue or mouth that others have experienced in the first kind of few days. But I'm only a day in, it might come. But it doesn't feel that uncomfortable in my mouth. What does feel uncomfortable is when you're eating. It's a bizarre sensation. Normally if you feel something on your teeth, you'll be using your tongue to kind of with food you try and move it away, but it feels like you've constantly got food on your teeth. And at the end of eating a meal, I run straight to the bathroom, and even though I'm swilling water throughout the meal, the food just gets stuck everywhere. So I bear that in mind if you're out eating in any kind of public place. Just be careful. Just be mindful that you could have food all stuck in your attachments and in your teeth. Just be mindful of that. Swill water as much as you can, and as soon as you get the chance to go and do a proper clean, I'd recommend you do that. I am very aware of it. Only after having 2 meals, I can see how much food gets stuck in there. So keeping your oral hygiene up is extremely important as well. So yeah, as for what they give me, that wraps it up. The bag, the box, and my trays. So I will go through the things that I have picked up from watching other channels that are of use that I bought. Pretty much everything that I've read, I bought in readiness, because I'd rather have it on hand, and thank God I did with the ortho than to be, in a situation where I need something and I've got to wait days for it to come, especially now, COVID and things don't come so quick. So the things I saw and were recommended, of course I've already mentioned the ortho key. All of what I'm showing you now has been bought on Amazon, and it came within a few days. This came with like a pack of 5. Everything I'm showing you is a few quid. It adds up. Everything does add up, but individually you're talking a few quid. I think it was probably about £4 for a pack of 5 of these, and thank God I would not be without them. Dental wax, I think, was a couple of pounds, probably £2 or £3. I get 3 packets. Each packet has 5 sticks. I haven't yet, only as I say a day in, I haven't yet had to use these, and I'm not 100% sure on how you apply them. So I'll probably watch some videos if I need to put them in on how the best way to apply these. I know therefore if you get sores and things, if your aligners rubs on your gums, then they're good for, kind of preventing and easing that pain. I haven't had to use those yet. Just to show you the case that you get, the official Invisalign case, which is actually quite nice and snazzy. They're selling these on Amazon because I went to look for a spare and they're actually 36 quid, which is absolutely shocking. So I've ordered just the Bod Basic £2.50 one. This one I'm going to keep in the house. It's also got holes in it, which is great because when they're wet, they're not going to hold any water. Got this one, £2.50 on Amazon, purely just to have in the house, and then I'll keep the snazzy one for when I go out. So this is the case. It's nice, it's thin, it's easily portable. I can imagine it's easily misplaced as well, so just be very cautious. I keep mine with my phone, so that way I'll always have it with me. It's plastic, it's easy to clean out. My dentist recommend that anytime that you can, and it's safe to do so, leave it open with your aligners in so that they air dry. But if you're out and about, it's not possible, just close them. Just make sure that you give them a good wash and dry before you put them back in, as well as the case. So that's that. Another thing that I kind of hope my dentist would give me, but pre-planned and ordered, just in case they didn't, was the chewies that everybody recommends. I got these 3 packs of 2, so 6 in total. I think they were around £4. Again, a few quid on Amazon. Really handy. These are basically, after you put your aligners in, you chew on them, just like that, a minute or 2 if you can, if you're in a rush, obviously do it with whatever time you have, and it just seats your aligners, fixed your teeth. Even doing it then, I could feel the pushing and the tightness around my teeth, so these are really handy. I think from my dentist didn't actually recommend these or mention them at all, but with the research I've done from other people, it's highly recommended for helping seat your aligners and for helping your teeth move. And a lot of people say, you know, if you can get half hour a day throughout the day, just chewing on these, it will help the shifting of the teeth. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but I guess it doesn't hurt to have them, so I do, and I feel they definitely do help sit, at very least, they do help sit the trays onto the teeth snugly. So I've got that. Yeah, as mentioned, as for the cleaning, you know, they said about the cleaning crystals, and actually he did not recommend the product I'm about to show you, and said that if you leave them in this product too long, that they can warp your aligners. However, all the research I've done from other users of Invisalign highly recommend the retainer bright. A lot of people use it every day, just in the morning or in the evening. I'm probably going to just go with the flow and see if I feel them getting a bit cloudy, probably use it then. Otherwise, just do a general clean with water, because I don't want to, taking into consideration what my dentist did say, I don't want to cause any issues for myself. I think you leave them in your 15 minutes. Maybe I'll leave them in there for 10 or a bit less. Yeah, 15 minutes. Given that he said if you leave them in there too long, it can warp the aligners. I mean, these, you know, are recommended for this type of clear aligner. But yeah, it could be, you know, it could be a way of preventing people from using these things to push them towards the Invisalign brand of cleaning crystals. It could be a ploy to that, I don't know. But I'm going to go with what the people are saying and the users of it. And I'll use these cautiously. So that's what I've got. This is 3 months supply, and I think these were a bit more expensive. I think these were like 10 or 15 quid on Amazon. You'd have to look, but it is 3 months supply. And when you're paying the amount that you're paying for Invisalign, you want to keep them nice and you want to keep them clean. So I feel like it justifies it. Okay, so moving on to my travel bag. So this is what I take with me everywhere. I've got on hand now. Mine is bigger than a lot of others, and the reason for that is I find it hard to, I don't like the feel of a manual brush. I don't feel it cleans well, and I just genuinely are cringed out by the feeling of it rubbing. So I've always used an electric, and I've got a spare Oral-B electric that I take with me. That is why this bag is so big. Most people just have like a little travel brush, and that works for them, and that's great. But for me, it just makes me feel a bit sick using a manual brush. I like to have an electric one. So mine's basically my old Oral-B. I've got a new one now, but this is the one that I use as spare just to take out with me. It's basically just the head and the brush, and I keep a separate soft brush in there, an Oral-B one. These are 99p for 2 in B&Ms, by the way. I keep that in there for the aligners. I don't know if it makes much difference, but some people have said it's best to have a separate toothbrush, a soft bristled one for the aligners. So just taking that on board for the sake of 99p, that's what I'm doing. Oh, I'll show you this. I haven't used it yet. This is for the aligner cleaner. This was £4.50. Wisdom denture bath. This is just to soak the aligners in. The reason I got this one over other ones, or from, you know, other than using just a glass, is that it does have the removable inner tray, so you can take it out, drain all the you know, solution out without getting it all over your hands, and shake it off. So that purely the reason I bought this one was for that reason. I haven't used it yet though, so that's there. Going back to my travel kit, so yes, I've got the electric brush and soft brush for the aligners. These are off Amazon. These are just dental floss picks. These are quite good. They come in a pack of 60, and I had 3 boxes of these for around £8, which seems expensive for floss, but they are solid. They are much more solid than the ones I've tried in the past. So you know, they haven't broken, and I haven't had to go through multiple. One is enough. So Clean Star, these ones are. I recommend them. They work for me. So I've got them in there. I've got a tongue cleaner in there, just because I feel a bit gross. I like to clean my tongue after I've ate as well. I'm using Sensodyne Pro Enamel Gentle Whitening. That's in there. I just feel it's really nice on your teeth. It's not harsh. It's a nice consistency. It goes on lovely. It spreads lovely. It froths up nicely. And you know, sensitive teeth is something that kind of comes hand in hand with having Invisalign. So I've been using this for a few months now, and I highly recommend it. It's helped my sensitivity a lot. Of course, as mentioned, I've got the ortho key in there for when out and about. However, I haven't had to use it out and about yet, because it's the second day with it in. I've got alcohol sanitizer wipes. These are just as a backup. I have a bottle of sanitizer with me everywhere I go. if I ever need to be in a public bathroom or anything. At work, we've got a nice big bathroom that is individualised. It's not in booths, it's one toilet, one sink, massive place, so it's I've got my privacy to be able to do this. I hope I'll never put myself in a situation where I have to be doing it in kind of like a shared public bathroom, because I think that would be really difficult. I'd probably just hold out until I got to my car. But those are just backups really if I need to wipe anything down. Not so much for my hands, because I have a bottle of sanitizer with me everywhere I go. So the Invisalign, if you get dry lips, and I will vouch that this is actually true. Yesterday, having only had them in an hour, I did get dry lips, so I have been using this from the get-go, and it's just nice to have the moisture on your mouth, because you do get dry mouth. I am drinking a lot more water than I normally do, and the fact that I can't drink tea means I push more towards water anyway, so I do recommend the Invisalign. They're like 90p, they're easy to pick up and they last a long time. So I've got a travel bottle of mouthwash. This isn't dark, it looks more coloured on the video than it actually is. This is just Listerine, alcohol free, fluoride. If you just need one just for freshen up. I won't be using this with the trays in, I'll only be using it when they're out, because I have heard that you can discolour your aligners using coloured mouthwash, and it's just not worth the risk, so I've got that. I've got these, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. A lot of people recommended that, you know, if you need to freshen up, mint, they're sugar free. And they're okay to use the aligners in. However, I assume that they've probably got sweeteners in if they're sugar free. So I'm not sure how I feel about using them yet, but they're there. They're there to have. Maybe I will, I'm not sure, but I bought them just in case. They were £1. And I have breath freshener. Obviously, again, early in, I haven't tried it yet. I don't even know what this tastes like. This is for a pack of 2.99p in Primark. So they're in there just if I need a quick spray, if I feel a bit, you know, that I could freshen up my mouth without having to go do another full clean for no reason at all, other than to freshen it up. I've got that to spray, but I haven't used that yet. So that is everything in my travel bag, and it looks like quite a lot. And as I said, if that wasn't in there, this bag would be a lot smaller. So I'm sure you can keep yours a lot smaller than mine. You have got the Invisalign bag if you want to use it. It's quite cute. I just prefer a firmer bag. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I just wanted to take you through all the products that I've got, what I've used so far, what I haven't, and my experience up to this point. I woke up this morning and they were quite uncomfortable. I did take some painkillers just because why be in pain if you don't have to? They were a dull ache. You get this incredible feeling to bite down, but when you bite down, you get this pain run up your teeth. So, but having got up, I've had breakfast. I ate breakfast absolutely fine. I had a breakfast wrap. I was biting into that fine. No pain. I've heard a lot of people find it hard to bite in. Maybe that will come in a few days or in future trays. But for now, today, I haven't had a problem with biting down into food, thankfully. I'm very much aware that they're there. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they could be a lot more uncomfortable. I feel that I'm quite lucky that this isn't feeling a lot more. People, you know, they report having sharp bits or bits that are pointing out. And given that I've got the attachments on as many teeth as I have, I did expect that sensation. But I must say, they feel quite comfortable in my mouth. They feel quite tight, which, you know, we want them to. We want them to move the teeth. I've had a slight lisp. Nothing major. You know, I decided to have these fitted on a Friday so that I've got the weekend to adjust to them before I go back to work. I work in a school, so I didn't want to be struggling that much with my speech. But I feel like it's okay. It's not that bad. I feel like I'll get used to it. I know with each tray, it will, you know, it moves your teeth differently, so maybe I'll be experiencing this throughout. But we'll wait and see. I will do a close-up of my teeth now, so you can see them with the attachments on. You can see what they look like. I don't feel they're massively noticeable from this kind of distance. However, I do feel like if you were quite close to me, especially with the attachments being on the front of the teeth, I am aware they're there, and I feel like you would see them fairly easily. But with COVID as it is now, we're wearing masks out in public all the time. So the only ones that are going to know they're there are the people I work with, friends and family, or if I've told someone. So I'm not too worried. My treatment plan is looking to be around 9 months. However, I'm very aware that most plans go beyond that. Most people end up having refinements multiple times. And I'm more mentally prepared for this to take anywhere from a year to a year and a half. Which, when you first put them in, feels really daunting. I'm sure that it'll just get more comfortable and it'll become just the way of life. And, you know, it's worth it to get to where you want to be for having straight teeth. I've had a lot of confidence issues with my teeth for a very, very long time. The crowding at the bottom and the overlap on the top. The crowding at the bottom particularly has made cleaning them extremely difficult and has caused me stains that have made my confidence very low, and having to go have a scale and polish very regularly to keep on top of those, because brushing and flossing and water flossing is just not enough. So I'll be glad when they are straight and I can floss with ease and I can feel comfortable to smile. At the minute, if I do any kind of photography, any pictures, I do it from a very specific angle. I'm very aware of them, and it would be nice not to think about it and to just smile with natural and not to overthink it. So, you know, the end goal is, you know, the straight teeth, and I'm sure it will be worth it, having looked at other people's results. So I will put in some photos with me not wearing the aligners, so you could see what it looked like with having the attachments put on. But for now, they're in, so I'll show you with them in, so you can have a look. So as you can see, they are on all my teeth, apart from these two. So there they are. You could see what I mean about them being quite noticeable. I think with them being a shine on them and the attachments as well, it does stand out. But from a distance, it's not so bad. So hang in there if you are looking to have them done. I do recommend so far. The process, although it has been timely with COVID not helping, I'm excited to start the journey now. So I'm hoping that this was educational for you. I'm hoping that all the things I've shown you is of help. And I will keep you updated. I'll probably do another one when I go in for my next appointment. So when I'm on tray 4, I think that would be a good time to step back in and update. You know, I would have had them for 6 weeks. I feel like I can report, you know, sustainable information then. So I'll probably wait till then to do my next one. But I will leave for now, guys, and I will talk soon. Bye.